Hey creatives, and welcome to another video. So for today's Writers React video, I'm going to do something a little different. Lately the Writer React videos, they're now coming every Friday, and I react to trailers for games or movies or TV shows coming out, and I'm still going to do that, but I also want to react to things that are important and relevant to writing and reading and whatnot. And recently I have just now learned about the writer's strike going on. In this last week or so, I've been hearing about it, and I don't know much about it. I'm going to take these out because I can't hear myself talk. I personally don't know much about it. I read like half of an article earlier, and I was like, you know what? I think I want to react to this and learn about it together with you guys and then talk about it and what I think. I'm an author. It's a little different than like screenwriters and stuff, but I still am interested to find out what's going on, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. So without further ado, let's get into this. So you guys may or may not know, I am conservative in my political beliefs. I don't know if political beliefs are going to come into play on this, but I do give my objective opinion when it comes to writing and different things like that. So if you guys are conservative, I don't know the kind of news outlets I'm reading. They may lean left or they may lean right. And if you're, more politically left, if you're more democratic and stuff, that's fine too. I'll be interested to get everybody's sides on this matter, as I don't know if there's a side politically to this issue or if it's kind of a neutral thing for everybody. I don't know anything, so I'm just going to read some news outlets. The first one that popped up on Google, do some research about it, and give my take on it once I know what's going on. And again, for all the conservatives out there, I don't know if this is a right-leaning or left-leaning news outlet, but I will be on the lookout either way, since I just want the objective truth about what the heck's going on. And I know nothing, so please forgive my ignorance as well. So USA Today, or today.com, not USA Today. So this was the article that I read earlier. I read half of it. So this is a picture of writers on the picket line on the fourth day of the strike. Apparently this has been going on since May. As I said, I just now found out about it. So Saturday Night Live and some of the talk shows have been going on dark, basically because the writers aren't working. So after 6 weeks, and from what I understand, it's about pay. They haven't been getting very much pay. They haven't been treated very well, I think, is the issue why they're striking. So why are Hollywood writers striking? They went on strike after 6 weeks of negotiations failed with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, a body that represents major Hollywood studios and production companies like Discovery, Warner, NBC Universal, Paramount, Sony, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, and Disney. One of the strike's key demands is higher compensation. Median weekly writer pay has declined 23% in the last decade. Amanda Mercedes tells Today.com, our wages have been falling in the last few years as the streamers' profits have been skyrocketing. She's a staff writer for the ABC crime procedural The Rookie Feds. She says the rise of services like Netflix has changed the business model completely, which makes it hard for writers to find consistent, well-paying work. Whereas a successful show could have run for seasons during the cable era, given writers a steady job and learning for years, the bingeable big budget, that's really hard for me to say, the bingeable big bucket, no, why do I keep saying bucket? Bingeable big budget shows made for streamers are typically shorter and renewed with less consistency. Writers have had to scramble from job to job. There's a typo there. With traditional TV models, jobs are lasting 6 months, 9 months, a year. Her job was 4 weeks, and that's just not sustainable to string together gigs as a way to make a living. Streaming has led to different writers' rooms. Mini rooms scale down writers' rooms that hire few writers for shorter periods of time and often pay less. In a mini room, a small group of writers typically work with the showrunner to break down the season's plot points, work on scripts which are finished without them. Mini rooms are crushing the ability for writers to string together jobs the way we used to. So they joined the picket line at the headquarters of Paramount. She started her staff writing job last May and joined in September. Okay, so she started a family. I'll be wearing that baby on the picket line, so I have a shred of hope to stay in the business while raising him. They're fighting for higher residential payments or payments writers receive when shows they have worked on are re-released, whether as reruns or in syndication. According to the WGA, half of all writers now work in streaming, which pays fewer residuals for new and pre-existing shows. Valentina Garza, producer and writer who has worked on shows including Wednesday, Only Murders in the Building, and Jane the Virgin, another bunch of shows I don't care for, shared some example on Twitter of how low residential payments can be on streaming services. In case anyone's wondering why the WGA is on strike, this is my streaming residential check for 2 episodes of Jane the Virgin, she tweeted, sharing a photo of a check made out for 3 cents. One for 0.01, another for 0.2. I think the streamers can do better. Wow. The union is proposing regulations regarding artificial intelligence, pay structures to make up for the elimination of residuals, preservation of the writer's room, minimum pay for streaming, and guaranteed number of on-the-week jobs for writers, per a WGA document. The Guild's proposals, according to the WGA, would cost studios $429 million per year. Studios' counter proposals were $86 million. That's a very stark difference between $400 million and $86 million. Some major shows and films have delayed production. CBS drama Evil, Apple TV comedy Loot stopped production after they formed picket lines at filming locations. Many non-writer crew members joined the strike, which also stalled filming. Some shows delayed because there's no writers to staff their writers' rooms. Abbott Elementary were supposed to be going back into the writers' room on May 3rd to start the 3rd season. They won't be. Stranger Things announced on Twitter that filming for the Supernatural Netflix series would be postponed. Writing does not stop when filming begins. A tweet said from the producers, while we're excited to start production with our amazing cast and crew, it is not possible during the strike. We hope a fair deal is reached soon so we can all get back to work. Until then, over and out. Hacks, Severance, a planned Game of Thrones prequel, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, Blade, Late Night with Seth Meyers. He said, I feel strongly that what the writers are asking for is not unreasonable, and as a proud member of the Guild, I'm very grateful that there's an organization that looks out for the best interest of writers. Days of Our Lives has a backlog of episodes that'll stretch into the fall, so some shows like that one will be doing reruns. General Hospital has about a month left of new content, so when will it end? The last time it went on strike was November 2007, and it lasted till February 2008 when they reached a deal. They also launched a strike in 1988, which lasted 153 days. So The Office, Friday Night Lights, and Breaking Bad was hit with a 3-month strike recently. Entertainment landscape shifted during those 100 days as a result, leading to a reality TV boom, such as Celebrity Apprentice and Cops. So I think that's about all we need to know. Okay, so basically we get the gist of it is that writers feel like they're not getting paid, they're not getting treated fairly. There's something, I don't understand the whole residual checks, but it seems like a few cents is not that much. Now I don't know how much they actually get paid, but I'm not a famous writer in Hollywood, so overall I feel pretty neutral about this, because one, it doesn't really involve me, and I'm not a huge fan of Hollywood anyway because they've gone completely woke. I don't trust them. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist when it comes to some things about Hollywood, which I won't get into, but essentially it is woke. It hasn't been Christian ever. Christians have left there, like Mel Gibson and Kevin Sorbo and different famous people like that have left Hollywood a long time ago. And it's never really produced a lot of Christian content, and Christian content has suffered because there's not a whole lot of good Christian content out there that's realistic. Until recently with The Chosen and other stuff, I feel like there's been kind of a rise in that stuff. But because streaming services like Netflix, I do understand the idea that streaming services are getting paid so much more money with the rise of streaming. And I'm the kind of person, I do have streaming services and do contribute to that. But I didn't realize that the pay for writers did not adjust accordingly. So as a writer myself, I completely sympathize and understand with writers wanting to get fair pay. Now, personally, I don't know numbers. I have no idea what the numbers look like. But for me personally, it's hard for me to imagine that people who work in Hollywood, regardless of what their job is, that they're not getting paid a considerable amount of money. So for me, I wonder if the writers are still getting paid a lot, but they just want to get paid more, like the studios. But you never know, it could be a lower amount than what they should be. So this is editing Joanna here. So here's the other thing too that I was thinking of as I was watching this back and editing this video. Here's the thing, and the reason why I feel so neutral about this is not because obviously I care about writers and I care about writers getting paid, but it's like, what about authors? As a self-published author, not traditionally published, I and so many others around me that I see every day struggle and struggle and struggle. We sell our books on average for 99 cents on Amazon. These are books that we've spent months, years writing, that we've spent hundreds if not thousands of dollars buying covers, buying editors, time and effort to format it, to send it out to beta readers, to proofread it and edit it over and over again, months and months of planning, years and years of writing, and we sell it for 99 cents on sites like Amazon and other places, of which we get 33 cents per sale. That's it, and that's one person. So if we can get a handful of people to buy it, we get 33 cents times however many people we get to buy it. So as much as I want to sympathize with the writers on strike, and yes, they do deserve to be paid, I am like, what about authors? What about authors? Because we put in, I'm sure the writers for Hollywood put in a lot of time, work, and effort. They write the scripts for the TV shows. It probably takes them months, and sometimes years in the case of movies, to write a script for a movie or a TV show, and for the studios. But they also have a lot of teams working together. If you're a self-published author, unless you're doing a collaboration or an anthology of some sort, you're on your own. And you're putting in years of effort just to sell a book for 99 cents and to barely make 33 cents per sale. And if you have a series, you can go up from there, but it's just, it makes me feel more for authors. Because if you're going to go on strike and care about authors and about writers in Hollywood and think that they deserve to be well paid and compensated for all their hard work, what about us? What about self-published authors? Hopefully it works out for the writer's sake, but I'm kind of excited about the strike itself because I feel like nothing good has come out of Hollywood for a very, very long time. And honestly, I feel like I've learned that not a lot is filmed around Hollywood anymore. Things have been moving studios and different things like that. They're filmed elsewhere, and it's kind of woke anyway, in my personal opinion. So I feel like if it gets shut down for a while, I'm okay with that. I feel like something needs to change because a lot of places like Hollywood, even Disney recently, has been going woke and trying to shove that crap down our throats. They've been trying to indoctrinate our kids, and I just feel like something needs to change. And I hope that I know the issue is not the same thing, but I hope it can be a wake-up call. Recently, a lot of woke companies have started to go bankrupt and broke and everything else because conservatives are finally standing up to this woke crap, and I'm all for that, and I agree 100%. And so and then the other aspect too is that if Hollywood gets shut down, if it stays shut down, if shows stop coming out in the next fall-ish thing, maybe that'll push more people to read, and that's always a good thing for authors like me, because not a whole lot of people read anymore, at least from what I understand, because everybody's streaming and whatnot. So it could be a good thing. I hope it works out for everybody who is being treated unfairly or unjustly. I still don't know enough to feel one way or the other. I'm pretty neutral about it. I still just I'm wary because I feel like, again, I don't know numbers, but I feel like they're probably getting paid a pretty decent amount of money for working at Hollywood. I feel like they're just a little bit greedy and wanting more, which is understandable considering that the actors and the studios and production companies and different things their pay is skyrocketing as well. And so if you're gonna do that, you might as well keep it even across the board for everybody working on that kind of stuff. But that's my opinion. I'm interested to see your guys' opinions. Other writers, let me know what you think of the writer's strike. If you're not a writer, let me know what you think of it, regardless of what side of the political aisle you stand on. Do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing? How long do you think this is going to last? And do you think it's going to make a difference? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' reactions, and in the meantime, if you enjoyed my reaction to this and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And in the meantime, this is the first news thing that I've reacted to, but if you want to see me react to something that I thoroughly enjoyed, including a trailer for the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender show, then click here because I'm super freaking hyped for it, so you don't want to miss that. Check that out. It's a wonderful trailer and I was fangirling so much, so check it out.